It's hard not to feel happy when you make someone smile.
Speaking the truth is the main attribute of a pure-hearted person.
I'm not afraid of death. I just don't want to be there when it happens. Great understanding is broad and unhurried. Little understanding is cramped and busy.
Wanting to be someone else is a waste of who you are. Don't pretend to be better than you are. Live life at your own pace.
Time cannot put anything in your hands until you let go of the time. The best way to cheer yourself is to cheer somebody else up. The most beautiful experience we can have is the mysterious. It is the fundamental emotion that stands at the cradle of true art and true science.
Of everything you could be and everything you do, the greatest thing of all, Henry, is simply to be you.
Until death itself comes, no calamity need be feared.
The truth has always been a more complex commodity than the market can easily package and sell. Just keep moving forward and don't give a shit about what anybody thinks. Do what you have to do for you.
I admire those who do good and expect nothing in return.
We fall, we break, we fail, but then we rise, we heal, we overcome. What consumes your mind controls your life. Reputation is what other people know about you. Honor is what you know about yourself. Success is a little like wrestling a gorilla. You don't quit when you're tired. You quit when the gorilla is tired. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. Illegal aliens have always been a problem in the United States. Ask any Indian. A loving soul was always more beautiful over the long haul, but actual prettiness was fleeting.
The fruit of empty hopes is more bitter than the saddest truth.
Instead of complaining about the problem and blaming others, start finding the solution. You will never be able to escape from your heart, so it's better to listen to what it has to say. There is no greatness where there is not simplicity, goodness, and truth.
Focus on the step in front of you, not the whole staircase.
Before you can successfully make friends with others, first you have to become your own friend. No matter how many people give me advice, I am going to do what my heart tells me to do.
When you walk in silence, your excellence will always speak for you. Where the army is, prices are high. When prices rise, the wealth of the people is exhausted. Men don't need linguistic talent. They just need courage and words.
You are an aperture through which the universe is looking at and exploring itself. A daily dose of daydreaming heals the heart, soothes the soul, and strengthens the imagination. Prepare yourself for success. You have to see it coming to get there. If you don't control your mind, someone else will. Letting go means to come to the realization that some people are a part of your history, not a part of your destiny.
Stop being okay with everything. Stop trying to create a new you around the same old people.
Nobody made a greater mistake than he who did nothing because he could do only a little. Knowledge without practice is useless. Practice without knowledge is dangerous. I'm the one that's got to die when it's time for me to die, so let me live my life the way I want to. To free yourself from perceived bonds, you must test the strengths of those restraints and risk failure. If he sends reinforcements everywhere, he will everywhere be weak. I never approve or disapprove of anything now. It is an absurd attitude to take towards life. A wise man always has something to say, whereas a fool always needs to say something.
Dream as if you will live forever. Live as if you will die today.
And meanwhile, time goes about its immemorial work of making everyone look and feel like shit. They lived like monkeys still, while their new god powers lay around them in the weeds. When one door of happiness closes, another opens. This is a wonderful day. I have never seen this one before. It is better to remain silent at the risk of being thought a fool than to talk and remove all doubt of it. Doing the best at this moment puts you in the best place for the next moment. I don't think that there are any limits to how excellent we could make life seem.
Respond intelligently, even to unintelligent treatment. Kindness in words creates confidence. Kindness in thinking creates profoundness. Kindness in giving creates love. If you want to dine with perfection, you must toil with imperfection.
There is nothing deep down inside us except what we have put there ourselves. It's a big world, but we are small. Every little thing matters a lot. Charity, like the sun, brightens every object on which it shines. He who would learn to fly one day must first learn to walk and run and climb and dance. One cannot fly into flying. Little risks brings little success. Great risks brings forth great success. Because this is the way things are meant to be. There are things you can't walk away from. Not if you want to live with yourself afterward. The deeds you do may be the only sermon some persons will hear today. Be the kind of person who catches the shit before it hits the fan, not the one who scrapes it off afterwards. There are 1,000 reasons to live this life. Every one of them is sufficient. When there are many worlds, you can choose the one you walk into each day.
Sometimes your circle decreases in size, but increases in value.
The reason I talk to myself is because I'm the only one whose answers I accept. I don't need a lot. I just want to find my peace.
In order to be yourself, you must first know who you are.
Value your peace of mind. People are successful because they think and act like successful people. Where you stumble and fall, there you will find gold. Success does not consist in never making mistakes, but in never making the same one a second time. A man is never more truthful than when he acknowledges himself a liar.
Do not use life to give life to death. Do not use death to bring death to life.
Fear tends to come from ignorance. Once I knew what the problem was, it was just a problem. Nothing to fear. The man who alters his way of thinking to suit others is a fool. To buy a cake, to howl at the moon, to know true happiness, I am happy.
Be sure to place your feet in the right place, then stand firm. Without local guides, your enemy employs the land as a weapon against you.
A miracle is often the willingness to see the common in an uncommon way. Do it alone, do it broke, do it tired, do it scared, just do it. Few among men are they who cross to the further shore. The others merely run up and down the bank on this side. Money gives you freedom. Freedom gives you happiness.
There is no place where espionage is not possible.
Life is to be lived, not controlled, and humanity is won by continuing to play in face of certain defeat. The certainty about the uncertain is that it will remain uncertain till the time it's certain. It is not that I am mad, it is only that my head is different from yours. The most wasted of days is one without laughter. You cannot control the behavior of others, but you can always choose how you respond to it. What others think about you is none of your business. I have been swimming inward and no longer drowning. I have been seeking the answers within myself. It is when things are at worst you will get the best. The road to enlightenment is long and difficult, and you should try not to forget snacks and magazines. There's no reason to have a plan B because it distracts from plan A.
Truth that came too late was as useful as a meal to a dead man.
I don't know why we are here, but I'm pretty sure that it is not in order to enjoy ourselves. A happy man is too satisfied with the present to dwell too much on the future. Impossible things are really rough to do, you know.
The more powerful the class, the more it claims not to exist. If we don't change the direction we are headed, we will end up where we are going. A wise general makes a point of foraging of the enemy.
He was attractive, I knew that, and I knew that attractive people always got away with things.
Earth's crammed with heaven, but only he who sees takes off his shoes. Success in warfare is gained by carefully accommodating ourselves to the enemy's purpose. A clown on a throne is still a clown. A king in rags is still a king. Luck implies an absolute absence of any principle.
But I know, somehow, that only when it is dark enough can you see the stars.
The flame that burns twice as bright burns half as long.
It's a lack of clarity that creates chaos and frustration. Those emotions are poison to any living goal.
We destroy in assumptions, but we do not build in possibilities.
The moment you let go of your discipline is the moment you give up on yourself.
Fear is nothing more than a negative assessment of risk.
Everything existing in the universe is the fruit of chance and necessity. If it can be destroyed by the truth, it deserves to be destroyed by the truth. Violence is spiritual junk food, and boredom is spiritual anorexia. Having the best doesn't make you the best, but producing the best makes you the best. If you don't give up on something you truly believe in, you will find a way. Anyone who doesn't take truth seriously in small matters cannot be trusted in large ones either.
We can't avoid reasoning. We can only avoid doing it well.
Every man should lose a battle in his youth, so he does not lose a war when he is old. Success in life is not for those who run fast, but for those who keep running and always on the move. The most important thing is this: to sacrifice what you are now for what you can become tomorrow. If you have no confidence in self, you are twice defeated in the race of life. Proclaim the truth and do not be silent through fear. Train your mind to be stronger than your feelings.
The spirit tower has its guardian, but unless it understands who its guardian is, it cannot be guarded.
Even though our time in this life is temporary, if we live well enough, our legacy will last. When friendship is settled, you must trust. Before friendship is formed, you must pass judgment.
In a time of deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act.
The single most powerful element of youth is that you don't have the life experiences to know what can't be done.
A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. Heaven is like an egg, and the earth is like the yolk of the egg. Where you are in a few months depends on what you do today.
The moment when you want to quit is the moment when you need to keep pushing.
Until you have suffered much in your heart, you cannot learn humility.
Care about what other people think, and you will always be their prisoner. As long as your ideas of what's possible are limited by what's actual, no other idea has a chance. Well, I must endure the presence of a few caterpillars if I wish to become acquainted with the butterfly. Surround yourself with people who talk about visions and ideas, not people. But in the end, it's only a passing thing, this shadow. Even darkness must pass. A man must wage war on himself to defeat his weaknesses and conquer his strengths.
Don't get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life.
One swallows the lie that flatters, but sips the bitter truth drop by drop. If all the people who were called crazy started acting normal, we'd probably still be living in caves.
To subdue an enemy without fighting is the greatest of skills.
Life's like a painter's palette. Just when you've got everything worked out, the colors change. Admit when you're wrong. Shut up when you're right. All the stuff you can't wait to get away from until it's not there anymore. And then you miss it like crazy.
My destination is no longer a place, rather a new way of seeing. If I work hard enough, there will be things I can do tomorrow that I can't do today.
Trees that are slow to grow bear the best fruit. If there is no struggle, there is no progress. The reason why the universe is eternal is that it does not live for itself. It gives life to others as it transforms. We had the experience but missed the meaning. An approach to the meaning restores the experience in a different form. I am inspired by people who are willing to confront the shadows of themselves and find light.
Truth often sacrificed for the sake of stability and peace.
Sometimes people are beautiful, not in looks, not in what they say, just in what they are. What we fear doing most is usually what we most need to do. Great leadership is always coupled with the mindset, motivation, and momentum of great service. My point is, life is about balance. The good and the bad, the highs and the lows, the pina and the colada. If you reveal your secrets to the wind, you should not blame the wind for revealing them to the trees.
Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Pessimistic tidak, lebi daripada sikap takbur mendahului nasib.
We could only choose which path to take to our destination. What happened along the way was entirely up to chance.
I never trust frank and simple people whose stories hold together. Failure is the condiment that gives success its flavor. Notice the difference between being in control and needing control.
Life belongs to the living, and he who lives must be prepared for changes. Our soul wounds took time to show themselves, and they will take time to heal. And healing requires compassion.
Staying in the past won't help you move on to your future.
Truth is stranger than fiction, but it is because fiction is obliged to stick to possibilities. Truth isn't. People are supposed to care. It's good that people mean something to you, that you miss people when they're gone. Anything that doesn't take years of your life and drive you to suicide hardly seems worth doing. We cannot change what we are not aware of, and once we are aware, we cannot help but change. One word of encouragement can be enough to spark someone's motivation to continue with a difficult challenge. Anyone who fights for the future lives in it today. Success is not how high you have climbed, but how you make a positive difference to the world. Interconnection permeates the entire universe. We are all one. If you feel obsessed to prove something to the world, then you need world attention to be able to prove it.
Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night, and when you move, fall like a thunderbolt.
Be happy in the moment. That's enough. Each moment is all we need, not more.
The easiest way to be reborn is to live and feel life every day.
Great things are not done by impulse, but by a series of small things brought together.
Being true to yourself is the greatest force to uncover the soul.
Don't forget, a person's greatest emotional need is to feel appreciated. I speak to everyone in the same way, whether he is the garbage man or the president of the university. Being able to write becomes a kind of shield, a way of hiding, a way of too instantly transforming pain into honey.
More powerful than the will to win is the courage to begin.
Nevertheless, life and death are mysterious states, and we know little of the resources of either. Live life as though nobody is watching, and express yourself as though everyone is listening. The simple things are also the most extraordinary things, and only the wise can see them.
Stop leaving, and you will arrive. Stop searching, and you will see. Stop running away, and you will be found.
Even in the far future, never forget the you of right now. Wherever you are right now, you're just taking a break. You can't reach what's in front of you until you let go of what's behind you.
When you're the most happening person at the party, it's time to leave.
It's harder to make the glass than break the glass. One does no question miracles, or complain that they are no constructed perfectly to one's liking.
It is man's natural sickness to believe that he possesses the truth.
Success is knowing your purpose in life, growing to reach your maximum potential, and sowing seeds that benefit others. In the book of life, the answers aren't in the back. A dream you dream alone is only a dream. A dream you dream together is reality.
A life fueled by passions is like riding on the back of a dragon.
Good people see the good and bring out the best in other people. Sometimes change was good, sometimes it was even exactly what you needed.
An unexciting truth may be eclipsed by a thrilling falsehood. You have to notice the truth in order to be able to avoid it.
Your world of poverty can be recreated to that of affluence simply by speaking the prince's language.
At times, even a 90% compatibility rate ends in a breakup. All I do is lie, and that has made me immune to compliments.
In the face of adversity, we have a choice. We can be bitter, or we can be better. Those words are my North Star. The prettiest flowers are in their honor in the ugliest dirt. I postpone death by living, by suffering, by error, by risking, by giving, by losing.
Lower your expectations, but never lower your standards.
Still, anyone who trusts a serpent deserves its bite. The wise see a creature for what it is, not what it says it may be. My hope still is to leave the world a bit better than when I got here. Sometimes success isn't about making the right decision, it's more about making some decision. Stress is a consequence of negative happenings or impact in life, but important is how to overcome it. Nothing important is learned, it is simply remembered. The act of going within, finding our truth and then sharing it, it helps us far more than we know.
Unless you enter the tiger's lair, you cannot get hold of the tiger's cubs.
You are in danger of living a life so comfortable and soft, you will die without ever realizing your true potential. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. The height of strategy is to attack your opponent's strategy. What comes easy won't last. what lasts won't come easy. I may not have gone where I intended to go, but I think I have ended up where I needed to be.
We don't receive wisdom. We must discover it for ourselves.
That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind.
Aslan, you doubt your value. Don't run from who you are.
We take greater pains to persuade others that we are happy than in endeavoring to think so ourselves.
True friends are always together in spirit. Lucy Maud Montgomery.
You get in life what you have the courage to ask for. We cannot be sure of having something to live for unless we are willing to die for it. Faith keeps our ships moving, while empathy and the memories of our experiences lead to wisdom. What we cannot bear removes us from life. What remains can be borne. Of all knowledge, the wise and good seek mostly to know themselves. Three things cannot hide for long: the moon, the sun, and the truth. If life's an exercise in making memories, no one really goes away as long as they are remembered.
As long as you can use your hands, the world is your oyster.
Every story I create creates me. I write to create myself. When you can't get what you want, get what you need. Don't find fault, find a remedy. Anybody can complain. What doesn't quicken dies. That's an indisputable truth of life. My mission in life is not merely to survive, to thrive. Realize that everything connects to everything else.
There is no such thing as a great talent without great willpower.
For a day, just for one day, talk about that which disturbs no one and bring some peace into your beautiful eyes. Through synergy of intellect, artistry, and grace came into existence the blessing of a dancer.
Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind.
If you aren't willing to work for it, don't complain about not having it. You often feel tired, not because you've done too much, but because you've done too little of what sparks a light in you.
We must live together as brothers, or perish together as fools.
What is too absurd to be believed is believed because it is too absurd to be a lie.
It shocks me how I wish for what is lost and cannot come back.
It's not enough to be nice in life. You've got to have nerve.
Shoot for the moon. Even if you fail, you'll land among the stars.
It frightens me, the awful truth of how sweet life can be. Price of peace could only be valued by people who had suffered loss in the war. If your dreams are too hard to achieve, just achieve. My feet are shaking, but I'll do whatever it takes to take a step forward. In this lifetime we meet and part like passing clouds. We often think of failure as a negative experience, but it can teach us so much if we are open to learning from it.
Hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard.
If you want to know a person's true character, observe how he treats those who don't matter. Don't hit it at all if it is honorably possible to avoid hitting, but never hit soft. The mind is everything, what you think you become.
The right mindset is the first step towards the journey.
Do not give them a candle to light the way. Teach them how to make fire instead. That is the meaning of enlightenment.
Stop doing what is easy or popular. Start doing what is right.
When you are on your path, and it is truly your path, doors will open for you where there were no doors for someone else. The world is a tragedy to those who feel, but a comedy to those who think.
Either in conflict with others or in harmony with them, we go through life like a runaway horse, unable to stop.
There is no standard normal. Normal is subjective. There are 7 billion versions of normal on this planet.
Life is a comedy to those who think, a tragedy to those who feel.
Don't only practice your art, but force your way into its secrets, for it and knowledge can raise men to the divine. Just when you think it can't get any worse, it can. And just when you think it can't get any better, it can.
Wit seduces by signaling intelligence without nerdiness. Crying can bring relief, as long as you don't cry alone. There is nothing frightening in the dark if you just face it.
Simple the life, simpler will be your instincts. The laws that govern the universe will obey your simplicity.
Keep your eyes on the stars and your feet on the ground. Birth is not the beginning. Death is not the end.
Be happy with who you are and what you do, and you can do anything you want.
When we embrace who we are, the world embraces us right back.
We suffer more in imagination than in reality.
Stay calm. You've been through this before. You'll get through it again.
We can accept and embrace our pasts as part of the path that shaped who we are now. It's the people who never learn the word impossible make history, because they're the ones who keep trying. Tried living in the real world instead of a shell, but I was bored before I even began. When the going gets tough, put one foot in front of the other and just keep going. Don't give up. Sometimes it's better to stop trying to make sense of things. Life isn't clear-cut. There are always gray areas. A lie can run round the world before the truth has got its boots on. What a waste my life would be without all the beautiful mistakes I've made.
You ask me if I keep a notebook to record my great ideas. I've only ever had one.
The trouble with fiction, said John Rivers, is that it makes too much sense. Reality never makes sense.
Realize deeply that the present moment is all you will ever have. Once friends as batchmates, but now different batches divide us.
You cannot be fair and correct at the same time. Fairness often takes the lesser correct of the roads.